I think Carl Keating put it really well in a book he wrote on Pope Francis. He said, we used to look to the Pope to clarify the confusion of our parishes. Now we look to our parish to clarify the confusion coming out of Rome.
As I like to say, the role of the Petrine ministry is to unify by clarifying.
We don't have that.
We don't have that. We have the exact opposite of that.
Are we allowed to say we don't have that? Because according to everybody who's going to comment under this video, you and I are both heretics for even...
Well, the where Peter is, Mike Lewis types that are out there are going to say that we're quasi-schismatic. That's their favorite thing, though, that we're breeding schism because... And they'll throw Lumen Gentium 25 at you, which says, we owe the Pope obedience of mind and will and so on. But one thing I've noticed, Lumen Gentium also says we owe the episcopacy in general the submission of mind and will. That the Pope doesn't rule as an absolute monarch. Go read Lumen Gentium 25. Yeah, it's big on papal magisterium and the need for religious submission of mind and will, but it also emphasizes that the episcopacy in general, as successors of the apostles, deserve our obedience as lay people. And yet I noticed that those who would criticize us for criticizing the Pope have no problem in criticizing the Cardinal Burkes of the Church. Okay? And constantly, oh, wait a minute, whatever happened to the notion, I guess we're only supposed to be obedient to the Pope. We can be as critical as we want to be of any bishop, Bishop Strickland, Bishop Schneider, Cardinal Pell, Cardinal Mueller, Cardinal Burke. We can be as critical of those guys as we want to be and call them schismatics and everything else, so long as we're faithful to the Pope.
Interesting.
Loyal to the Pope, but loyal to the Pope by their definition. Now, as a theologian, I'm going to say this with regard to those who are watching this and saying, okay, you're critical of Pope Francis for not fulfilling his Petrine ministry of unifying, but he divides instead. Well, I think that's just an empirical fact, and I'm going to say it. And I don't think it violates religious submission of mind and will of Lumen Gentium 25. Because what Lumen Gentium 25 is arguing for is not slavish, servile obedience to every word that comes out of a pope's mouth. Because if that were true, then every saint who has ever challenged a pope was sinning. All right? Catherine of Siena was sinning. Okay, that any saint that had anything critical to say of a pope at any time was sinning. No, we have to be able. This is what I mean by exaggerated papalism. You've got to be able to criticize the Pope from time to time with respect.
Yeah, absolutely. And you'd know this more than me, but isn't it true that the Holy Father has invited people to express their concerns? Or is that not true?
It's very true.
Do you think when he said that he meant in reference to the papacy, or did he not mean that?
I think that he means it with reference to the papacy in general and to his own exercise of that ministry. I think he is sincere when he asks people to critique his ministry. However, I think that he's not consistent in that sincerity because he's human. Let's put it this way. I don't think Pope Francis is a saintly person. I think he has garden variety vices like I have. In other words, I would look at John Paul and Benedict and say, I think those people are better Christians than I am. They have virtues that I don't have, and they lack vices that I do have. I look at Pope Francis, and I think, there's a part of me that sympathizes with him because he seems like me. Right? And so when people criticize him, he said, I invite criticism. He bristles at it. He doesn't like to be criticized. And so I think one of the things that explains, he talks about going to the peripheries. He talks about reaching out to the margins. He talks about accompaniment. He talks about todos, everyone. And then he issues Traditionis Custodes and says, well, everyone's welcome in the church, but you people are not. You people to the right of me have criticized me, and so I'm going to put you in your place. See, I think this is a vice. I think this is a vice. You can't in one breath say parrhesia, open discussion, todos, everyone's welcome, non-judgmentalness, accompaniment, and then say, yeah, but all you people that like the Latin Mass are backwardists and hateful Pharisaical people that we don't really want to deal with anymore. And that's hypocrisy. I'm sorry, that's hypocrisy. And I don't care if people want to call me out for saying that I think the Pope is a hypocrite in these matters, because I think that's the truth. I think he is.
Hey, thank you so much for watching. Before you go, do us a favor, leave a comment, let us know what you thought of the video, like, and subscribe.